Get out of here. Harry was mercilessly cursed and kicked out of the US for violating taboos. Hello and a very warm welcome to LVT News YouTube. Today, a lawyer is issuing a stern warning that Harry's drug use might threaten his US visa after he has admitted to taking cocaine, cannabis and also magic mushrooms in his memoir and in TV interviews. Now he is facing calls for his US visa application to be released to see whether or not he admitted his drug abuse before he came to California with Meghan back in 20. Right now there's a conservative think tank that's in the middle of a fight with DC officials who are staunchly refusing to publish any details whatsoever, including any emails or text messages. The DC-based Heritage Foundation claims that Harry's visa application needs to be released so the American taxpayers can finally understand whether or not Harry really declared his drug. See, U.S. immigration law issues very strict penalties for lying immigration officials, including but not limited to deportation and being banned from applying for citizenship. Ex-federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani told Page 6 last night an admission of drug use is usually grounds for inadmissibility. That means Harry's visa should have been denied or revoked because he admitted to using cocaine, mushrooms and other drugs. Mr. Rahmani is the president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, which is based in LA, and he went on to clarify that there was no exception for royalty or recreational use. There is no way that a normal person would be allowed into the US and they admitted to using drugs in the past and the benefits of it. I mean, Harry has either lied on the visa forms or he has been given special treatment. Now he said, "We definitely don't want him back here, but he should still face consequences like everyone else for his behavior and there should be no special treatment because he is a royalty." Mr. Rahmani went on to say he's quick enough to use the law in court to sue everyone, including the UK government and Metropolitan Police newspapers and anyone else he considers to have hurt his feelings with received slides along with his entitled demands. The law and rules of democracy, free speech and conduct must apply equally to all. He is not above the law. It works both ways, Harry. I mean, it looks like Harry just carries around so much spite towards his own family that he doesn't shut his mouth even when it's in his own best interest to do so. Just more embarrassment for his poor family. But Harry and Meghan seem to believe they are in a position to always lecture the rest of US on how we should live our lives. They truly are lost in la la land. Now, if Harry acquired his visa under the category of an individual of extraordinary ability, I mean, to me, that's a lot more concerning than him getting any US visa in spite of the fact that he admitted that he has used drugs and still uses drugs. Now at some point Harry's going to need to renew his visa or he'll have to apply for a green card if he wants to stay in the US, and I do hope that at that time it becomes an issue. I mean, it's not like Harry can lie after he has admitted on so many different occasions that he uses drugs. Now maybe it's going to take a while depending on how long the visa is valid, but eventually it's going to. I also highly doubt that Harry is paying his fair share of anything, including taxes, so that special visa would mean that Harry only needs to pay tax on US source income, and my guess is that his lawyer keeps that to a bare minimum and he gets the rest of his income in a low tax jurisdiction. See, the rest of US are just not extraordinary or special enough to get that kind of. Another lawyer has also weighed in, saying, if true, it's absolutely disgraceful that it doesn't apply to him because of who he is. He's nothing in the US anyway. They don't recognize royalty. If he wants a burger, he should still stand in the queue like everyone else. His wife seems to think she's something special, expecting to get VIP treatment wherever she goes, and the US gets taken in by her when she asks to visit certain charities or companies. This just proves without the palace advisor looking after him, Harry is truly his own worst enemy. Harry's family protected him very well for many years, and now that's the very family he trashes to make money. Harry has put the US in a pretty difficult position, but I guess Harry just assumes the rules do not apply to him. Just look at the private jet usage and the huge houses while preaching to US about climate change. Now I hope the Heritage Foundation can continue to pursue this case until the self-proclaimed global champion for equality is treated equally as everybody else. It's not fair that he gets special treatment. Maybe Harry needs to learn to use that brain of his before he opens his mouth again. It seems like he has no control over his mouth at all. It's pretty clear to see that Harry has gotten some preferential treatment. I mean, how long did he have to wait, I wonder, to get a visa to enter the US, and I wonder, is it a permanent visa? Now, I know somebody who is coming from the UK and they had to wait for over a year to be approved, and people of privilege don't have to line up. They just go straight to the front of the line. And there's a danger in this. It might open the floodgates to other cases where people have a problem with somebody who has been given a visa. It's not going to go anywhere. The best thing to do would be for the US to refuse to renew Harry's visa. I think that was a pretty clear message to the entire world that the US is very serious when it comes to drugs. It's about time that Harry is brought back down to earth anyway. I mean, how dumb can he be bragging about killing people in Afghanistan, whining about his family when his grandmother lay dying in the hospital, and also he made the last year of his grandmother's life so stressful? Does he not have people who can give him some good advice? People who can let him know that a prince whining about his life during a recession is not a very good idea. There are so many young people who have lost their lives because of illegal drug use or experimentation. It is disgusting for somebody like Harry to almost brag about having used substances. I mean, let's fast forward Harry to when your own kids become teenagers. If they're real, I think you would not want them going down that path, would you? Would you want them to risk their lives in this reckless, insane way? There is no safe limit. That's gonna cover everybody. I mean, even if the drugs don't take the life of 18, their reckless behavior while under the influence might, or it might kill somebody else. Harry, you should feel so ashamed of what you've done. If there is any justice whatsoever, Harry is going to be made accountable for his actions just like other people would be in the same situation. His book promoted illegal drugs, and in an interview he talked about how he loved taking illegal substances. It is such an awful thing to do, considering that taking Class A drugs is completely illegal. And America right now is suffering from some really bad drug addiction problems. I mean, meth and fentanyl. The news is just filled with these stories of these poor families who have been ripped apart by drug use, but Harry lives a very special life removed from all hardships. Unlike thousands of drug addicts out there who are living on the streets, it would be so unfair if Harry were allowed to get away with what he's done, scot-free. When Harry left his family, I don't think he fully understood just how much the palace protected him and guided him in a helpful way, and now his self-absorption is just off the charts. He doesn't have the filter of the Palisades anymore. He better not come for that coronation. I mean, when he comes to the UK, if he comes. He may not get back into the US. Just imagine the scenario of the airport. Meghan and the invisible kids into the States, and Harry is just stuck behind the barrier at immigration. I would pay to see. And if nothing happens, I think people are just going to dislike him even more than they already do. Americans are not going to approve of his ability to be untouchable thanks to his status. It was such a stupid thing to put that in the public domain, and even more shocking was that he advocates for mental health and he's always whining about gender reform while insisting that his invisible children have their birthright titles. He is such a hypocrite. And you, what do you think about Harry? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments section. If you think my video is helpful, don't forget to like and share with anyone else who would love it anytime you want, and please subscribe to our LVT channel to support us more and more. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good night, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.